What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my main event prediction for UFC Las Vegas. We have Petr Yan going against Merab Dvalishvili.
I need all the wins, yeah. Harder than all that is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
And we are back, breaking down another main event, a very good main event, a very good card in UFC Las Vegas. We are not at the Apex, but we are in Las Vegas, so that's going to be nice. Getting out of the Apex, and just a really good card here in UFC Las Vegas. I think March as a whole is just filled with really good cards. We have 286 next week. We got San Antonio to finish March up. So yeah, really looking forward to the month of March as an MMA fan. This main event's fire. Petr Yan, Merab Dvalishvili, 5 rounds. I've been waiting to see Merab Dvalishvili in a 5-round fight because, his style is going out there and taking you down a lot, and that's what he does, right? So it should be a really fun fight. Cannot wait to get into it and break it down. Before we get started, if you guys can please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Working my way up to 20,000 subs. I think we're like 650 away. If we could hit that by the end of March, that'd be awesome. I know it's a long way to go, but I think we can do it. My full card breakdown and prediction video will be out on Wednesday. Did not get much done while I was in Vegas, so still trying to get through this card. Almost done. I think I have a couple fights left to dig deep into, but getting that out on Wednesday, so make sure you are subscribed to not miss out on that. But you guys came here for the main event, and that's what we're going to talk about here. Petr Yan, Merab Dvalishvili. We got Yan, 30 years old, 5'7" with a 67-inch reach, 16-4 and 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Merab Dvalishvili, 32 years old, 5'6" with a 68-inch reach, 15-4 and 5-0 in his last 5 fights. So, good fight. Merab Dvalishvili has been on a roll here. So, he lost his first 2 UFC fights, but since then, a win over Terrion Ware, a win over Brad Katona, Casey Kenny, Gustavo Lopez, John Dodson, Cody Stamann, Marlon Moraes, and his best win to date, in my opinion, was against Jose Aldo when he went out there and won a decision against him. So that was a great win there. Petr Yan completely different. Petr Yan is falling on some hard times here. Petr Yan is 1-3 in his last 4 fights. He had that DQ win against Aljamain Sterling where he was taking over the fight. He was winning the fight, and then all of a sudden he lands an illegal knee, loses the fight. Bad luck there. Big mistake, huge mistake in that matchup. Beats Corey Sandhagen, great win. And then he fights Aljamain Sterling, the second fight. Close fight. Goes to decision, split decision, he does not get the nod. And then he goes and fights Sean O'Malley. Again, close fight, close decision, did not get the nod, split decision loss there against Sean O'Malley. And I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I could have swore I saw like an article or something where Petr Yan was talking about like either leaving the UFC or retiring or something because he's getting he said he was getting robbed by the judges or something, which, man, I mean, a lot of these fights I think could have went his way, especially that O'Malley fight, but you can definitely make a case for O'Malley, due to the damage. I could see where the judges are coming from, but I really did think Yan won that fight. But regardless, he's taking on Merab Dvalishvili here, and it's a very interesting matchup. Like I said earlier, I've been waiting for Merab Dvalishvili to fight a 5-round fight because I think his style could translate pretty well in a 5-round fight setting. So I think that's going to be awesome to see. Awesome how he deals with that 5 rounds, those extra 10 minutes, because Merab Dvalishvili is a guy that he goes out there and he wrestles a lot. I mean, I was taking a look at like the amount of takedowns Merab has attempted thus far in the UFC, and it was like something like 170, like something crazy from the Merab Dvalishvili. So we know what he's going to do. He's going to go in there and he's going to try to take down Petr Yan. And that's going to be easier said than done here. Petr Yan on paper has a 90% takedown defense. There have been some fights where he is getting taken down, but typically he's popping back up. So his takedown defense is very good. But what's even better is the get-up game. It's hard to take down Petr Yan, but it's even harder to hold this guy down. Against Aljamain Sterling, I know I've seen this point a lot already, and it's only like Tuesday that, Aljamain Sterling's taking down and holding down Petr Yan. Why can't Merab? And the answer to that is 2 completely different, grappling styles. Merab Dvalishvili is the better wrestler between him and Sterling, but not the better grappler. Whereas Sterling, he has the better grappling, the much better grappling, and he has the better control grappling. Sterling was able to control Petr Yan. He was able to take his back, whereas Merab, I don't know if I see him doing that. Merab can take guys down, no problem, but the reason he's getting so many takedowns is he doesn't have great control on top. Like, for example, that Gustavo Lopez fight. Yes, he landed 13 takedowns, but, that just meant Gustavo Lopez was able to work his way back up each and every time. So I'm curious to see if he's able to take down Petr Yan, and I think he does, but what I don't really think he does is hold down Petr Yan, especially over 25 minutes. If this was a 15-minute fight, I'd be more inclined to lean Merab Dvalishvili here, but since this is 25 minutes, I like Petr Yan here, and I like him quite a bit. Like, on the feet, it's really not even close. Petr Yan's going to have the significant striking advantage. Like, Petr Yan has a ton of power. The amount of knockdowns this guy has. He had a knockdown against Corey Sandhagen, Aljamain Sterling, Jose Aldo, knocked Faber down 3 times. He knocked down Jimmy Rivera twice. He knocked down Ishihara twice as well. I could have sworn he knocked down Sean O'Malley. I think it was that second round, but I guess they didn't call it a knockdown, but hurt Sean O'Malley at some point in that fight. I mean, Petr Yan has a ton of power, and we have seen Merab Dvalishvili hurt before. Merab Dvalishvili is not going to want to strike with Petr Yan at all. At all. He's going to go out there and he's going to go for takedowns early and often, and he's going to have to do that across 25 minutes to win the fight. And, with the way fights are judged, especially nowadays, they're judged based off of damage, right? Merab Dvalishvili, I don't see him doing any damage to Petr Yan. He's going to try to go out there, hold him against the cage. He's going to go out there and take him down, but I don't really see him getting off any ground and pound. I don't see him, controlling Petr Yan for long periods of time. And when this fight's on the feet, Petr Yan is going to be doing the damage. So I do want to talk about these odds. These odds surprise me a bit for a couple reasons. So we have Petr Yan, who is the favorite, and I just want to see where Petr Yan opened up. So Petr Yan opened up as a minus 175 favorite, right? And then Merab Dvalishvili opened up as a plus 150 dog. We now see Petr Yan minus 260 and Merab Dvalishvili plus 220. So money's pouring in on Petr Yan. I personally agree with that a lot. I really like Petr Yan in this matchup. But the odds surprised me because I kind of felt like, hey, people are going to be very low on Petr Yan because he's 1-3 in his last 4 fights. losing to Sean O'Malley, Aljamain Sterling twice. I think people are going to be very low on Yan. And then on the flip side, Merab Dvalishvili's on this huge win streak. People are super high on Merab. Maybe I can get a decent price here on Petr Yan, but that's not happening. I mean, money's pouring in on Petr Yan, which is weird because I see a lot of love out there for Merab Dvalishvili. It's just, I think it's a really tough matchup for him. I really do. I think Petr Yan can not only win this fight potentially by decision just by doing more damage in each round, but I think he can finish Merab Dvalishvili here. I think he can stuff the takedowns. If he gets taken down, I see him popping right back up. And like I said, every second this is on the feet, Petr Yan's going to have a very, very significant advantage, and he's dangerous as well. So, quite frankly, I love Petr Yan in this matchup. I'm kind of upset that I missed the line. I like minus 260. You can't really touch that at this point. But earlier or like a couple days ago, he's like minus 175, minus 180. I would have loved that. But yeah, minus 260. I don't know if I can get there with Petr Yan just because the judges hate him, man. I mean, the judges hate Petr Yan. But yeah, for me, I like Petr Yan inside the distance. I think that's how I'm going to attack this fight. Plus 240 out there. I think best price for Petr Yan inside the distance. I think if Petr Yan does win this fight, there's a good chance it is inside the distance because I think he can hurt Merab, especially as this fight goes on as well. So I like Petr Yan here. I want to say it might be like an unpopular take, but it looks like money is just pouring in on Yan, so maybe it's not, but I thought a lot of people would be on the Merab Dvalishvili side because people are low, like very low on Yan at this point. Probably the lowest people have ever been on Yan right now. And then people on the flip side, very high on Merab. But, styles make fights, and I just don't see Merab going out there and controlling Yan for 25 minutes. I mean, that's what he's got to do. If he does it, that'd be very impressive to me. It's just Petr Yan is not somebody you can take down and control. I know Aljamain Sterling was able to do it, but I think Aljamain Sterling has a much better control grappling than Merab Dvalishvili. So, yeah, give me Petr Yan here. I'm going to say Petr Yan I'm going to say late finish, 4th round finish for Petr Yan. I think Merab's going to get hurt multiple times in this fight, and I think eventually Petr Yan's going to put it on him and knock this guy out. So I like Petr Yan. I like Petr Yan inside the distance, and I like him to get back on track here. I really do. I think this is a fight where he needs to get back on track. He needs to get the finish because you can't trust these judges. So give me Petr Yan. I'll say 4th round knockout for him. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know who you guys have down in the comments, and of course, be sure to be on the lookout for the full card predictions. Really good card here, and can't wait to break it down. So you guys, leave a like, subscribe, all the good stuff. We'll talk to you guys very soon. Best of luck for UFC Las Vegas. See you later.